Peace. 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 How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Tapping in, tapping in. You know what I mean? You know, fulfilling my obligation and my duty for another day. You know what I mean? Uh, I think I titled the this particular talk truth, patience, constancy. And it's three. I guess it's three different matters. Three different matters that I basically want to touch on. You know what I mean? Uh, and I want to explain why I spoke on this truth, patience, and constancy, because this is an aspect of life that I learned from my religion, the one that I most hold on to, whether you like it or not, is Islam. And one of the chapters in the holy book of Muslim people is, the Quran. One of in the chapter is called Asr by the time, and it's the 103rd chapter. But the gist of it is basically, what it says, what Allah say is, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and we were taught that Allah swears by the time. Verily, man is in loss, except those who believe and do righteous good deeds and recommend one another to the truth, and to perform all kinds of good deeds which Allah has ordained, and abstain from all kinds of sins and evil deeds which Allah has forbidden, and recommend one another to patience, to patience for sufferings, harms, injuries which one may encounter in Allah's cause during preaching His religion of Islam, Islamic monotheism or jihad. Okay. So, but this translation from this particular translation of the Quran, and they vary, but basically, this particular chapter in the Quran calls the people to basically be upon a way of adhering to truth, being patient upon the truth, and actualizing in being constant, like with some constancy, some consistency in your deeds, in your good deeds, and consistency in staying strong against doing negative things and being, doing, negativity, being constancy. That's what the constancy is, being consistent, constantly being upon the same program. And the reason why I brought this up, because these are the things in my life that I live by. And though I am not rigidly religious like I used to be, I still adhere to these principles that I learned. And these are the principles that I've learned in my life, growing, that helped me to the point to get to where I am now. And this is why I brought this up, because adhering to the truth is something that I knew prior to me being so-called conscious, just to say it in that way. But I hold on to everything that, everything that I know that is good. I still adhere to it. I still like abide by it. You know what I mean? So just because I'm so-called conscious, I was always conscious. It's just that it was a time when, let's say, I was a heedless individual, and I was called to be, God conscious of Allah, conscious of the existence of the Creator, and this is where I got this aspect from: being upon truth, patience, and constancy. no matter where you come from, most of us come from religious backgrounds, point blank, period. So we have a strong foundation, of knowing certain rights and wrongs, certain do's and don'ts, very, the basics of it. And okay, with the truth thing, like now, a lot of us now are coming into the knowledge of self, and the knowledge having, well, the importance of knowledge of self I didn't really get from religion. I had to venture outside of the so-called religious rules to uh to go towards me having knowledge of myself. But in my pursuit of knowledge of myself, I still hold on to being upon truth, patience, and constancy. This is the reason why I feel the need to tell the truth about certain things. And it's many different truths. It's not just one. It's many, many, many different things that we learn, on this path. And I think I've mentioned that the door that I walked through to get to where I am now came through the door dealing with uh, racial issues, group issues, racism, and different stuff going on, here where I live, in the United States. Uh, so I've learned certain things about myself and about my people, and I feel as though I know that I have to speak on these things because I know better now. You know what I mean? Um, Knowing yourself, which everybody has to do, whether you dark or light skin, you have to have knowledge of self. Because if you don't have no knowledge of self, you're really not going to be able to get close to the Most High Creator, Allah. It's just not going to happen. You have to have a knowledge of yourself, and you have to know where you fit into this picture, well, or you fit into this play, because this is a play, and we all characters in it. And guess what? We all have purpose, and my purpose is to learn, and my purpose also is to propagate the truth, defend the truth, and be on the truth, even if I gotta be by myself. And this is basically with the aspect of truth. I really want to help people get better with adhering to the truth. If you learn and you know it's the truth that, let's say, ain't no such thing as black people, or ain't no such thing as white people, because people are not the color of the crayon box and all that crayon box. If you learn that, stop being scared to speak about it. At least start with yourself. Stop calling yourself a color. You know what I'm saying? And because the truth be told, there's no such thing as a black person or a white person or a pink person. Or any of these different things. These are political statuses, destinations. These is stuff that for politics, and this is why we is in the positions that we in now, due to that. Even the people that have the more positive, let's say the more positive political status, they in a negative position for them believing and thinking a way of themselves and a way of others that is incorrect and it's wrong, it's false. See, so they have to know themselves too. The same way, let's say it's all we, actually, but we all have to have a knowledge of self in order for us to grow as a people. You could say we could say we can get into all the other little aspects, and these aspects are real, about people burning up in the sun and all this different stuff. All that. It's relevant. It's relevant, but it's most relevant for people that's going to stick to, let's say, the old way of thinking, whereas though, like, okay, once you elevate and you get in a better position in this society, then okay, what you going to do? You're going to start doing the same kind of evil to others that was done to you and your people, or are you going to accept the higher position, which is the one who brings justice? Because the one who really got the message, okay, yeah, now you know. Okay, now. Now it's time to go into being figuring out how re-establishing justice on this earth plane. You know, as opposed to, and we all go through stages and levels and periods in our in our ascension, whereas though we go through emotional, we just go through a lot of emotional stuff. We get angry about this, we get happy about that, but all that stuff, in order for justice to be established, it all has to be balanced. It has to be balanced. You can't be on an emotional thing that's just not balanced, because what's going to happen is history will repeat itself, and we're going to keep going around in the loop of things. And when you get into karma and what karma is, and all of that, then you'll see that what goes around comes around. And if you know anything about real true history and you get into the real history, you'll realize that a lot of what was done to us, we have done to others. This is what it is. You can't, and it just is what it is. And that's another part of the truth. There's so many different aspects of truth that I could just talk about that people need to get into for their own personal self first, so that they can save themselves and then save their families. Because that's the bottom line. That's that's how it should go. You gotta first save yourself, because you can't save because everybody don't come up at the same time. Everybody don't realize things at the same time. So you gotta first save yourself, and then you go. And I learned that's an aspect. Let's say I know this, but I first learned it from the high religious aspects that I have and that I've learned, because we was advised in the holy book to first save yourself and then save your family from a fire whose fuel is men and stones. Okay, so we don't get into all the fire and burning and all that. I ain't talking about all that. But I'm just saying that way is a way to be. You can carry. We're gonna call it the new stuff, because it's new to us. It's old, but it's new to us, to a lot of us, right? Myself included. But we still can stick to that. You got to save yourself first. So deal with yourself. You know what I mean? If you learn something and people don't want to, hey, you trying to tell somebody some new, true information that you come across, but they don't want to hear it. All right, then they just don't want to hear it. Don't get I can't even think of the word, but don't get discouraged. That's what I want. Don't get discouraged. Keep going, because inside of this journey, you have we learning. At the same time, we may be teaching. Like okay, I'm learning. I'm going to consistently and constantly learn. But now I'm attempting to try to relay information, or relay a vibe, or teach, right? Even if I'm gonna point my finger in the direction of something, you know. So the me learning, and then inside of this learning, I'm being tested. I'm being tested with how to figure out how to communicate a message in the best way. And that comes with many trials. The trials, of just people not being accepting. People not accepting certain things, even though these things are the truth. Okay? So these hardships and difficulties that you encounter on this journey, now you see why you need patience. Okay, it's old to me, right? But it may be new to somebody else. So we done dealt with some truth, and now we're going to have to deal with the aspect of patience. Hey, you got to be patient in anything you do. And I talk about my base religion a lot. Watch me, I think I do, because this is what woke me up. But then I always talk about even dealing with my profession as a boxing coach. I talk about boxing, but I've learned that this patience that I'm talking about, I had to exercise and cultivate and develop patience inside of that, because don't nothing just happen. You got to be patient with the people that you're trying to teach something to. All right? Okay. Patience. You know what I mean? People, they're going to do and say things that go against, well, let's say what we're trying to accomplish in life, in boxing. Okay? So we have to be patient. right? And it ain't something. Patience ain't something you just have. you got you got to practice patience. You got to actualize it every day, every day. You can't just say it's not something you have. You have to be working on it all the time. And another thing I learned in my life, the constancy, the aspect of constancy. Okay, constancy, being consistent. I've accomplished some things in my life and dealing with my profession, and also just in other many other aspects of my life through having patience through the difficulties I was dealing with my own personal self, and working and fighting through those things, and then ultimately I've had some successes, and so I know that the truth, patience, and constancy thing, it works. It works. It actually, you ain't gonna do nothing without it. Even if you word it a certain way, or you pull it from another philosophical religious discipline, it's still the same thing. It's still the same. So, um, this is what we have to deal with on a daily basis: adhering to the truth, being patient with the harms or the trials and whatever kind of tribulation that comes with it, and being consistent. Um, the same way we being dumbed down, we being dumbed down and beat down constantly, you know, and in order for you to not be a victim and constantly being a victim, you have to build up your awareness, you know, you, your awareness of certain things. I be I be really salty. I be hurt, when I witness just what's going on. And I see a lot of the world now through the internet, like most of us. Just like in the past, we was TV people, and probably before that, we was radio people. But we see the world through the radio, through the television, now the internet, and I just see people being fooled and bamboozled. They giving up their energy and their attention to the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you got, even with these things with these entertainers, it's deep right now. And I want somebody, well, not somebody. I want everybody to take heed. Everybody in those situations is receiving benefit from all that chaos talk, whether it's the truth or whether it's true or false. All of them people is going to make money from that. All of them going to make money from that. They interviewing each other. They going back and forth. They doing all this different stuff. And you know what? It's all based on views. If you know how the revenue is generated now, it's similar to with television. You really, it don't be, you be thinking it's one thing, but it'd be Coca-Cola and Pepsi paying for the airtime. The air they put their commercials on during the Super Bowl or doing whatever. You see what I'm saying? But now the internet, okay, it's based on views. Views. And it's still about advertising. So it's still the same, like with television. But all about views. This stuff is streaming, it's viral. This foolishness is viral. Why? It can only be viral if people putting their attention into it. You get it? So for people to say, man, I don't care about that, then so why is it going viral? Then if real common sense people ain't worrying about it. Even myself, then watch a few things enough for me to know what's going on. But I'm just giving it, and I'll be like, damn. Sometimes I'll be wanting to watch something, just even if I just want to have a little laugh, because I ain't saying I'm above all that. Like, yeah, I laugh, I like jokes, I tell jokes, I do all that kind of stuff. But what I'm just saying is, but I still got to keep myself keep myself dialed into the right things, man. Like hold on, man. I don't give a f about this stuff because it don't apply to me. It don't pertain to me. It don't. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't and it's all a play. It's a movie. It's like a script, and we helping it. And people been saying this for some years now. I'm just way more aware of it. Hey, put your energy into the things that's going to help you. You know what I mean? Put your energy into the things that's going to help and benefit you. Not this foolishness of Fulan and Fulan and Fulani over here talking some foolishness that don't have nothing to do with regular people. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, so nothing changes. You know, where we at. Things just keep going the same. People living and dying. And I live in a place where people is dying. You know, young people, and it all. And I hate to say it always was like that, but it's been deteriorated even worse. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I thought that things couldn't really get no worse with certain ways. But then I witnessed the 90s and the 2000s. I witnessed that. Wow, witnessed that. And if you go back to 2000, I would never think the world would be how it is right now. Go back to the year 2000. Come on. And I was a grown person, a good sense, a sound mind, and all that back then. You know what I mean? I would never think that things would get to the point where it's on now. Even my way of thinking is not even something that's widely accepted in mainstream anymore. You know what I'm saying? So why is that? It's because of how much the people have fed into a negative reality that's not real, and it's not good for them. You know what I'm saying? And we just keep going along with it. You know what I mean? We just keep going along with it. And you know, a lot of the religious stuff, it gets you away from it gets you away from common sense. If it's aspects that's good, you know, it's good. There's aspects to it, but it's other aspects that keep you away from winning. Like you start talking about nationality, and you having a nationality because you found out that you've been denationalized, and you trying to get your nationality, but somebody in the religious group try to tell you that you shouldn't be worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? Or you wake up and open your eyes and look at stuff like historically bad things that happen to you and your people historically, and you be like, damn. But these people still trying to tell you to vote in and for the system that done this to you, and you say, all right, and then they convince you that, oh, we're gonna change it. We're gonna change it from the inside out. It ain't happened yet, did it? We even had a so-called black president, but he wasn't black. That's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, we had that, we had all that, and people still don't get it. But all of this stuff, you think it's small. You think it's small to be following this this foolishness, and this is the biggest thing that's destroying us because for our lack of attention on the right things. It's just that simple. You know, it's just that simple. And okay, I'm on here talking, and there's many other people on here talking about the same stuff. You should listen to them. You should be listening to them, not to this other foolishness that got you worrying about stuff that don't matter, and it ain't gonna matter. You see what I'm saying? You just pull something out of the air, out of the head. Gentrification, public education. Our kids is going to these schools. Health. Yeah, it's stuff to worry about, but I'm just saying, little by little, you know, because I don't want to get everybody on the. Yeah, but it ain't. It's beyond this conspiracy. It's a full metal jacket, full metal plan to keep people in the sleep state. And they do it through really us here in America. We're addicted to we're addicted to entertainment and sports. So that's one way. that they get you. And if you ain't addicted to that stuff, sometimes they get people hooked on a bottle. They get people hooked on some type of drug. They get people hooked on uh sex addiction. You know, all that kind of stuff. All of this different stuff will get you. You can lose. You can lose a champion. You can be in the championship. We in the championship actually. We always was in the championship. Uh, and we actually the former champions. And we and believe it or not, we the reigning champions because we still got it. But we, when I say we, I want to see things more on the surface. Whereas I want to see people in a conscious state. You know, I don't want to keep seeing myself or anybody else for that matter walking around and living in a sleep state. So I'm gonna work towards assisting myself and assisting anybody who wants to ascend and wake up. I want to help the same way people help me. Because oh man, it's countless people who I could really talk about that I've listened to over the last 8, 9, 10 years that has changed my thought process, how I process information, what I believe in, or what I know. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm praying that I can help somebody in that same way. You know what I'm saying? And for no other reason, if you driving to work and you catch me on a live or you just seeing one of my videos on YouTube or something, and man, listen to it, watch it, because that's what I did. I listened to most of the people, and really, I'm attracted to what I consider to be extraordinary average people, or average, how you know what I'm saying? People that are average, but that are definitely extraordinary, because you take on an extraordinary persona when you go against the system, and you ain't got to be talking about all that mess marching with signs down City Hall. I'm talking about with your own personal self, you understand that you ain't black, and you understand this other high aspects. You understand that if you try to get close to God, it don't got nothing to do with you going to a certain place, even though a lot of things is already established. And you can go meet in places with people on the same mindset. That's reality. But most of us is alone in this journey, especially in the beginning stages. So I advise people to get into it on their own. You know what I mean? Get into the stuff on your own. Don't be worrying about looking for somebody to keep you company. It's just like most you see people they get with their friends, whether it's men or women. And they say, oh yeah, we're gonna get in shape, man. We're gonna start going to the gym together, and this and the third. And you know what happens? Y'all hit the gym. There's 3 or 4 of y'all hit the gym a couple times, collect, as a group. But then you'll see the second week, it start dwindling down. People will start getting busy, and different life things will start happening. And what I know from that is that in order for you to accomplish some type of fitness goal, you got to really be on it. You can work out with them with this and third, but when they start falling off, you got to stick to it on your own. That's the only way that it's going to happen, because all 3 or 4 of them people that you started off on the journey with is not going to maintain the same energy, or you may be the one to fall off. But I'm just saying, let's consider that you the one that ain't going to fall off. That means that you got to be solo in the mindset of you ascending. It's all about you. Can't be worried about nobody else. So that's why I'm really talking to people that's by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And most of us are who trying to go towards something different, or going towards the truth. The truth ain't no crowd. The truth ain't no crowd. It ain't. That's why we supposed to affect our realities. We supposed to affect each and every one who knows things. We have to affect all our own personal realities. We can't worry about what's going on in this other reality. Because it might be a so-called work person in this other reality over here that been on the path a little longer than you have. And they reality, they say, oh yeah, you know, it's this, is that over there going on over there, but yeah, there's more going on. You gotta, you gotta affect your reality. You gotta affect your home. You gotta affect your, you know, your block, your community. This is what you gotta do. You know, you gotta affect your reality first. Start with you. Don't worry about what's going on. If you know something, tell somebody else. Don't be scared. I mean, that's another part of this backwards society, this backwards reality, this matrix system. The fear. Because once you get past the fear of certain things, you really can't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? You really can't be stopped. So that's why I'm speaking to try to help people to stop being scared. You know what I'm saying? Stop being scared. Because one way or the other, you're still gonna be, you know, a lot of the negativity that we experience, it's gonna keep happening anyway. You think it's gonna stop happening because you stop talking? They might turn it down a little bit. See, that's what they turn it up. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be built up for it. You got to be built up for it. You got to be patient with those difficulties. That's what it is. Just like when a fighter trains, you think it's just all peaches and cream. You gotta go 3, 4 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, whatever, training, and the body tired, they sore. They miss their family and this, that, and the third because they can't, you know, have the same kind of life that they had if they training for a competition. But this is what they have to endure in order to be ready for their fight, for their competition, right? It's the same thing applied to real everyday life and with this truth walk, this truth journey. You know what I mean? And the winners is going to win. Regardless. It always been like that. And we could take lessons and parables from, like I said, from what we experienced in the religious days. Same stuff. You know what I mean? People try to tell you, hey, who you think you is? Who you think you is? You a Muslim? Yeah. Man, your mom and your dad ain't Muslim. So what? I'm Muslim, right? So all that stuff, man, I didn't experience that stuff in a whole nother chapter of life. You see what I'm saying? But see, how Allah the Most High, He prepare you. He prepare you for what you're going to encounter, let's say in the next chapter. Especially if you pass the test, you pass that religious test. See, the religious test is if you, man, I don't care what the Bible say or the Quran say. If you see something and you know it's wrong, it's wrong. If you see something, come on, man. We know stuff been rewritten and rescripted anyway. You might need to wake up to that. And you might need to wake up that, hey, I ain't going to say who said it, but it might be your own brother, your own people be the ones that put you back in some type of, keep you bonded to a mentality. Or a way, you know, a way of thinking. Keep you bonded to it. It be your own, your relatives and your close family, your close friends. So you got to take heed to that. And worry about yourself. You know what I mean? And save yourself. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say, in order for you to save yourself, you got to get away. You got to get away. Probably got to get away from a lot of people that you got love for. That's something you got to accept. If you don't accept that, that's another way for them to pull you back. You know what I mean? This is what it is. But it's a daily thing. And if you see, let's say back in the day, when you was on some type of conscious vibe, or just let's just say for instance, and you were just like on some woke talk, woke time, woke journey, right? I don't even like to use these words because I know it's stuff connected to it that's negative now. But what I'm just saying, if you live the woke life, let's say in 1995, most of the time you wouldn't be able to easily find people that's on the same thing where you live. The same way now, you can't do it. But you know what you can do? You can find people on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. So we've been equipped in this time, especially in this time of change. We're in a time of change now. We're in a time of change and we're in a time of information. In this time, we have something that we did not have 20, 30 years ago. And I know this for a fact because I was living and I was grown 20, 30 years ago. So I know the difference. Yeah, you may not be nobody right around you where you live that you can really get with and kick it with, like physically. But you know you can come on here and you can see what I'm talking about. I can see what you're talking about. I can, and so many different others that's out here trying to teach and trying to talk about the truth and getting lining up with the truth, with who you really are and what's what with the Most High God, Allah. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, man. You know what I mean? So you can find that's the blessing and the benefit of having social media. You know what I mean? And day to day, day to day, we it's really a day to day thing. You know what I mean? Even though we gotta have some foresight, but guess what? Hey, you gotta get through the day, right? In order to make it to the future, the so-called future. You know what I mean? And I think that these kind of talks, I hope that I'm inspiring somebody to, you know, ain't no worries. It's all going to work out for the people that's on the right things. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work out. You know what I mean? The truth is always going to be able to. The truth is always going to reign supreme. You can't hide it. It cannot be hidden. It never could be hidden completely. That's what I really mean, because the truth has been hidden for years, but it can never be completely hidden. It will always find its way, and it will always find its way to the right ones. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's going to propagate it and that's going to push it out. Hey, it's something that's well known. They say each one teach one. Yeah, that's real. It's real. You know what I mean? Each one teach one. You ain't gotta say the world, but you might say the world by talking by influencing the one person that will say the world. You see? So in reality, yeah, I'm trying to reach that one person. That's gonna reach that one person. You know what I mean? And all of the right things in life, and I know a lot of things from a lot of different experiences in my life. It's gonna prevail. It's going to prevail. You know what I mean? Don't be down because your family don't want to mess with you, or your family calling you some type of religious deviant, or you a black sheep, or he crazy, or she crazy, or all that different stuff. You know what I mean? That's how it always was anyway. For real, for real. Because especially most of the people that go a certain way with it, they always was like that. And your family always, even when you was in a sleep state, you was different than them, and they would try to find something wrong with you. No matter, even when you was doing 110% good, they find something wrong with you. It was always known that you was gonna go a certain way, and them type of people, them negative energies, they understand that. So don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Find something, find yourself something to get into that's good, and it's putting you on your way, and you stay on that way. You know what I mean? Uh, if you get tired, get some rest. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the Most High Creator give you a little treat every once in a while, and you be able to, you know, uh, connect with somebody that may be like-minded or close to being like-minded, and that'll give you a little. Because us as it's difficult to be alone all the time. We all go through things when we go through this process. But the process, this is the solitude that you being blessed with is the solitude that's needed in order for you to ascend. So it's a thing that you dislike, but it's a thing that is very, very good for you. So that's why you gotta keep a real good attitude, and you have to be have a real optimistic attitude in reference to that. The Some of the loneliness that you may be experiencing is for your benefit. It's for your good. So you just really got to just just get through it. And I'm getting through it too, because I'm talking. I'm by myself. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and and I'm better with it now than I was last month or the month before, whatever. And the purpose of me talking is to help somebody else. If you experiencing something dislikable in your life due to you uh, living a different way, coming to the truth of things, the truth about recognizing the truth in this reality that we in. No worries. You know what I mean? Things are gonna change for you. You know what I mean? And guess what? Where you at is where you supposed to be. So accept it. And I don't know. That's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. Getting hungry. I need something. I probably gotta eat some, munch on something. But don't forget, tell the truth no matter what. Always be on the truth. You know what I mean? And be patient with what comes with that. And be consistent. Show up every day. Ain't no days off. Once you in the rabbit hole, ain't no days off. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I gotta say for today. And I appreciate anybody who was watching. I appreciate that. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. And maybe I'll talk to y'all a little later on. Peace.